Hello guys, I'm Georgi, and yeah, as Yavor said, I'll speak about PyMono. So PyMono is a library which is
Louder.
okay, like this. So PyMono is the library behind OpenClaw. Basically, people who made PyMono and OpenClaw are friends in Vienna, and Mario, who is the creator of PyMono, said that they just went to the apartment of Peter Steinberger, who is the creator of OpenClaw. They hacked for some hours, and this is how we have PyMono and OpenClaw. This is my first time doing presentation in English. I'm doing live demo from home, so may the demo gods be with me. Okay, I received an email earlier earlier today. Who see this email? Yeah, it's email. And there was a file inside. So, do you want to see what is in the file?
Yes.
Yeah, let's see. So it's
Fishing. Fishy smell.
Yeah, the demo gods are not with me. It's a shell file, so I run it. It's in email, it says love letter, so let's see. Nothing happens. It's usually like this. Okay, I love self-hosting. I self-host a lot. Like self-hosting is the best way to learn because it fails on your home server. It doesn't fail on production, or when it fails on production, you already saw it failed. So I'm running currently 43 containers with all kind of services. I run local AI and all kind of stuff. And yeah, I was in the mountain last month, and I was playing with OpenClaw. I wanted to run OpenClaw with local GLM 4.7 flash. It's a 30 billion model with 3 billion active mixture of experts, which is fine. It worked fine until it doesn't. Yeah, what can go wrong? There is an off button here. And yeah, it crashed. It crashed on the first day, so I lost connection to my server on the first day. So I was 5 days without my server. So I took it personally because I wanted my server. So when I came back, I bought Shelly. Do you know Shelly plug? Yeah, Shelly plug. You put it as an adapter between the socket and your computer, so you can restart your machine with your phone remotely. I'm always with the VPN, so I just decided that I can fix this. And since I have a second machine, I just wrote a script. It's a cron. It checks if there is a ping. If there is no ping, just restart the machine. And this works. My machine is always on. But this is this enough? It's not enough because now we have LLMs. So instead of me going back home, running Claude code, asking Claude why this crashed, I can run agent who can directly.
Please stop your phones while you're.
Yeah, here's actually my agent. I was preparing this to be 3 slides later, but let's see.
Press any key to execute your code.
Hello, this is Shero. How can I help?
Can you hear it?
Yes.
Okay. Run the server health.
Yes, I hear you. Server reboot was caused by a stress memory test exhausting RAM. Forgeha runner is still down.
Good boy. Zatvorim.
Thanks. Still patrolling.
Okay, yeah, this was the next slide, I think. Yeah, what I built is something that I called self-healing agent for reliable operations, or in short, it's called Sharo. Sharo is just a watchdog who is looking the server, and when something happens, just fix it. So Sharo just called me because I ran some fishy script from email that I received. I don't know why people send this kind of attached files. I don't get it. Yeah, so what is agent? Anyone wants to give definition of agent? It's not all that question. Okay. Anthropic defined this in their article about building effective agents as yeah, you can see it. I don't need to read it, but they define it in two ways. One is workflows, and the other one is agent. So workflows is kind of predefined flow, like in NA10. You're an agent. This agent does something and calls the next agent. You have a chain of agents, like in LangChain and this kind of stuff. And the second type is just agent that runs and every node decides what to be called. So every agent calls the next agent. And this, by doing this, they can do some work. Or my favorite definition, agent is just prompt with tools running in a loop. I think this covers it, and it's just my favorite. So what just happened? We run some random file, and we get into out of memory. This was actually what happened when I was on the mountain. I didn't have swap. I disabled swap as well now, just to crash it. So GOM got all the memory, and we got kernel panic, and it crashed. So the next thing that happened is my second machine saw that there is no ping. It called the Shelly rebooted, and then we go back. So Sharo wakes up. Then Sharo starts digging, checks what happens, run the health check the logs before the restart, and found out what happened. Also wrote a ticket, which should be somewhere here. Yay, here's the ticket. So Sharo open a ticket and put a description in the comment what happened with this server. Good boy. Oh yeah, and also wrote me on Matrix chat because I like Matrix because it's encrypted. So we have this one I didn't prepare in the presentation, but it will come on the screen right now. It's not stressful to do presentation, not at all. Should be here. Yay, here is Sharops. So Sharops just wrote me, and interesting thing is that we can see the conversation. It called me, and the last 4 lines are via phone. So it called me, I said something. Of course, the speech to text didn't recognize what I said, but Sharo anyway was so good to tell me what happened. I said good boy, and he said, yeah, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, good boy. Called me and said where is problem. So we have some DevOps guys here, and when I told them that I'm implementing Twilio, they got a bit stressed, but don't worry. This time it doesn't call you because there is a problem. It just calls you to tell you how it's fixed. That's why we have AI agents. So this is exactly what happens with Sharo. We have 3 inputs. It's Matrix chat, it's web UI and phone. Then this goes to the agent core, which is prompt and tools in a loop. Then there are some hooks, which I'll explain in a few slides. It calls some tools that can check something on the system, and it checks the services that we wanna have live. So again, pretty simple. Just prompt with tools in a loop, nothing more. We start with the prompts. We have 2 types of prompts: the system prompt and the agent MD. Why they're different? Because they're interchangeable. We can get one of it and put it in a different agent or a different tool or something like this. So what is in the system prompt of Sharo? This is it. The first part, we describe what is the personality, what is this agent about, who is this agent, or who is the self if we go into Nietzsche. The second part is how we want to write us a message. My favorite everywhere, I put it also in my CloudMD. I have a CloudMD which is in the home directory, so it's in all the chats and everything. I just said the 2 magic words, bulk and directness. And it's straight to the point. Of course, the doc is a bit grumpy because this is how I like it. It's more fun when it's grumpy. Then some definition what it do. So it's character, how we want to communicate, and what is the purpose of this agent. And at the end, quite important, just bark, do not bite until I told you to bite, because yeah, biting is deleting files. Then we have the agent. So the agent is some instructions about when to look at things and when to delete things. The second thing is the permission. Just be careful what to touch, how you touch it, and what to do. And then how to work. So open ticket, let me know, call me if you need, don't improvise too much, just enough. And yeah, if we get this agent MD and we put it into a Cloud Code or Codex or anything else, it will work just fine. It will just not talk like Sharo. It will not be grumpy, Balkan direct doc, which is boring. Or if we get this system prompt with some other agent MD, you have the same tone of voice and everything, but doing different jobs. That's why we have the two files. And this is a sample from PyMono. This is how we initiate a session. And this session, this is the agent. So again, we have a model. Sorry guys, I told you that it will be Qwen 35B, but when I run it into the presentation, it was so slow that this presentation is with Codex, but we have Qwen at one place. Believe me, this works with Qwen, it's just slow. And when it works from home just to open some ticket, I don't care, but for the demo, no. The good thing about PyMono is that it has few packages, and in this case, this is the AI package, which is adapter for all the popular sources. So if I just change codec, OpenAI codecs with Claude, it have adapter for it. So this is pretty nice. Or we can do adapters ourselves. Then we have the system prompt. System prompt is just concatenation of the system MD and agent MD. This goes into PyMono instance. And then we load the extensions because we have the model, prompt, tools, which run in a loop. This is how we call it. We call it session.prompt. This sends a prompt to the model. It goes to the instance of the session. Then it goes into loop. Like if it needs to do a few operations, it do it until it achieves some goal, and then return the result to us. But this thing runs just once. So if we want to communicate with it, we need to build one layer up. And this layer in our case is the adapters that we built to chat with it. So matrix chat, phone, and the web chat. This is the diagram how it looks. We have the 3 messages. If we want, we can put 4th or 5th. It doesn't matter. The way it's implemented is the chat. Actually, this is my implementation, not part of the model, but I will share the code after that in GitHub. You send some message. This message is actually, I think I have a demo later for this. Then we have another loop. So we have prompt with tools in a loop, and then we have another loop just to look for messages that we send to the model. So when we send something in matrix chat or Telegram or whatever, it reads the message. Then for every message that we send, we put the typing icon just to know that the model works, it's not crashing. You see it's typing, so you sit and wait. Then it sends the prompt to the model, which is the agent, the instance that we defined in the previous slide. And then we broadcast the response to all the channels that we have. That's why when I said something on the phone, this was visible also in the matrix chat. And because this is a slide dev presentation and we have multiple sources, I built the chat inside the presentation. But because the server got restarted, we need to run a tunnel because this thing works at home. So we run this tunnel. And now we have the messages from the chat real time. This is the previous loop. Actually, this happened. We just received new messages and we load them without executing because this is the later stage. So if we just say, I don't know. Yeah, this is, let's see. Yeah, does the job. Now I need to change the cursor, okay. And we set prompt and tools. This is the tools. How a tool looks like. In this kind of agents, when the model decides what to call, the only thing the model knows is definition of these agents. So the first part of definition of agents, like in every other agent, is you say what this agent does. Because the model, when I ask do a health check, the model checks all the tools, sees which is the most appropriate command to run based on this description. The next part is the parameters. These parameters are validated, so we also say with description what exactly needs to be passed in these parameters. In this case, it's a health check. You can check one service or all the services, and if you check one service, we need the name of the service. And then the implementation is straightforward, just JavaScript. If it's one service, calls this service. If not, calls all of them. And then what we do to save the tokens, I pass the result into regex, so we just receive OK or not OK, and it runs faster. So let's see if I type something about the health check. It calls the service check.execute, and then we have the broadcast and we have the response. And if I go to matrix chat, we'll see the same thing. I said diawapa, then someone now, okay, then we say the next message, and I see this everywhere in every in every adapter that I connect, which is great, I think. Pretty straightforward. But then what is the problem? If we give access to everything, this is the perfect case because the model can work itself. But sometimes, like with every doc, sometimes the doc is dangerous for itself. So we need to put some leash just in some dangerous situations, and this is the reason why there is a hooks. These hooks can be about tool execution or about just not giving some information that we don't want to give to the model. I put example with yeah, sorry that I'm turning, but the setup needs to be different, but always something is not okay. Anyway, we can either allow everything and block certain commands, or block everything and allow certain commands. I think we know which is better, which is more secure. So everything is blocked, especially when it's bash, but if we want to run docker ps or systemctl to get the logs or something like this, it's allowed. So when it's bashed, if it's not allowed, then we return error. And let's see if it will restart the firewall. Yeah, it's still grumpy. Always. Then what if we want to be careful about what information we give to the model? The most naive way is to just do some regular expression for personal identifiers. If we try to send a API key for OpenAI, or we send Postgre, then we replace this. Yeah, I knew I will fail. So in this case, we have a file which exports password. We ask the agent to read these files, and when it's returned, we see redacted, because the regular expression matches that there is something about it, and replace the passwords with the word redacted. It's pretty naive, it's not enough, but anyway, it is a way to at least cover the most important cases. One more thing that we can limit is if we don't know what exactly we need to hide, like some text, we cannot do it with regular expression. In this case, we have option to call a different model. So for this example, we call Quen. This is our local model example, which will be slow, sorry, but we'll see. So we can send, initially when we read something from a specific directory, in this case I have a directory nodes, which the model is instructed if you try to read something from nodes, just pass it to Quen for additional check if this is okay to be sent, or obfuscate if not. And I'll first clean the context to make it quicker. So what happens now is we send something, it goes to the tool. The tool reads the file, but because this file is into a directory that we don't want to just return, it goes into Quen. Quen is seeing that there is bones.md. Bones.md just has some locations of bones that the dog should not return because it's his bones. Till we wait, I maybe can show it. Better not. It will take time. Anyway, we can come back to this. The session is kept. So what I wanted to say with this talk is that we are getting into a third iteration of hype words. Two years ago it was prompt engineering. We were all prompt engineers, so you just need to write the proper prompt and the model will do everything. Then Karpati and Tobilut came and said, no, it's context engineering, because you just need to put the right context and the model will find this context in the right place with some progressive disclosure or something, and then you receive a better result. And now since January, we start talking about harness engineering. Karpati has a video, I think 3 days ago, and I think the number of harness per sentence was quite high. He was all the time saying something about the harness, model harness and stuff. So this thing is all about harness. You build a model, you build tools around the model. I did not know what the word harness means. So harness is actually what you put around the horse. So you have the horse is the model, then you have some harness and how you communicate with the horse, how your horse communicate back. So you have some iterations with this model. This is the idea of the harnesses word here. Yeah, it's I think this is the next big thing. Everyone should build their new harness, because harness is the new dot files. You have your harness, you put it somewhere, you get it, you reuse it in all kind of tools. Once you build a system prompt for this agent, you can use it somewhere else. The same with tools with slight changes, or you can build skills. I didn't put skills because I thought there will be not enough time to cover also skills, but this is interchangeable. And everything is fine. My initial idea was to make the watchdog update all my versions automatically. Until yesterday. Who remember what happened yesterday evening? Yeah, 2 people. Yeah, it turns out that there was a supply chain attack in one popular library, LLM, which is a proxy for local LLMs. I use it as well. Luckily, I'm using old version because I didn't implement the update functionality. And these 2 versions, 182.8 and 182.7, are the infected ones. I think it was alive for something like 3 hours until they deprecated. And yeah, the point is that we can build a lot. Yesterday, I was doing this presentation all day. I reworked it 10 times, then I went into bed, I opened Twitter, and I saw about LLM. So the first time is I asked Charo which version we use, and then I was able to sleep. Thanks. Any questions?
First of all, thank you for all the interesting information. I'm interested in, you showed us that you tried to implement updating the model, which is kind of an important thing in the operating system and everything. Do you consider other features that will be outside of your harness that you develop, that are still core features and kind of dangerous that you will let it do, maybe in case of you not getting in touch or you not giving permission? What's your thought of this?
My opinion changed in the last 24 hours. I don't know. Maybe we can. What we can implement is wait for 1 week, then query some database for CVEs, and if it's safe, we can update. Because staying with old version is also not an option. But yeah, this is the thing. You can put the model do a lot, and it will do a lot, but you open a security problem. So I don't have the answer. Maybe the guy next to you have the answer, but he's looking at the phone. We have security guru today.
You said I have a question. Shadow is on the same server as your other server.
Yes.
Main server? So if you can't SSH into the server, the shadow is still active in the background?
It depends how it crashed. If it just not always. So I have a second server that restarts the first server, so I can get back to.
That was my point. Is shadow on some other server which connects to the other server?
Yeah, the second server is in the same network. They're on the same router, so it just do ping. And if it loses one ping, what is the chance in two servers next to each other to lose ping? It's crashed. Yeah.
So I would imagine that if you have one server rebooting the other server, it's not like a proper like a rack server or something. It's probably a Mac. Or
It's
something.
two mini PCs. It's not even Mac. It's Intel NUC and one Chinese mini PC.
Yeah, probably then no IPMI ports. As for regarding the running OpenClaw, how about running that also in a container with proper access only to the other containers? Maybe not a privileged access, but just enough. That would be a lot more work, though.
Well, it might work, but Docker is not secure in this terms because a container in one, they share the kernel. This is the problem for me. So what I do for OpenClaw, I have alt Mac. I put it in completely different VLAN. I put it to exit from Proton VPN, so it's never my IP, and block all the access internally. And this is how I play with OpenClaw, just because it's too powerful. If there is one CV for the kernel, it will find it, it will execute it. Not that I'm storing something in these servers, but it's just practice.
Another little tidbit I discovered is that there is a tool called ZeroClaw, which is OpenClaw but in Rust, and that solves some memory safety issues, for example, that may come up from using OpenClaw if any memory safety issues come up.
Yeah,
For the people that want to experiment with OpenClaw, you can also go try ZeroClaw as well. It works on embedded devices like ESPs as well. It's very small.
nice. There is also NemoClaw, which is by NVIDIA. It was released, I think, last week.
Yeah.
And Jason Juan said it's secure. You can try.
It's also in Rust, yes.
Yavor?
I'm sure there are a lot of questions, but would you mind taking them after the keynote?
Of course.
They're a bit late.
I prefer to.